Hey everyone, my name is George Zimney. I am the president and founder of the Zeal agencies. I'm extremely excited to speak with you today. Today I'm going to speak from the heart. This is not scripted. I'm going to go through a lot of PowerPoint slides to give you a pretty thorough overview of a business opportunity with my company. And this is solely designed to give you more information about me, our core values, my company, and a possible career and business opportunity that could be or maybe isn't a fit for you. But I believe that information doesn't do any harm. And before I bring you into an interview and invest my time and resources and ask you to invest your time and resources to come in for an interview, I want to make sure that you're pretty well informed as to who we are and what we do. So let me get right into it. So I would definitely encourage you to pull out something to take notes on. I tend to talk fast. I have a lot of ground to cover as we go through this. So first off, a little bit about me so you know who I am and who's speaking to you right now. I live my life, and my wife and I live our lives based on the 4 F's, and that is faith, family, fitness, and finance. So starting with faith, we raise our family in the church, and our church family has been, and our faith has been extremely important to us in raising our daughters and in our life's mission, our life's work. Both my wife and I hold council member seats at our church. We belong to the Columbia United Church of Christ in Columbia, Missouri, and it's just really important to give and align our values with the faith and with our church. So that's been extremely important to us. Number two is family. We do everything, well, as much as we can, everything with our family. We have 2 young daughters, Raylan and Adeline. You see them on the screen there. And on the left, you can see us at church, top center. We're in Chicago on 4th of July. In the bottom, you can see my wife and I traveling in Ireland. And on the right, we love the outdoors. We love to go hiking. We love to ride the 4-wheelers. We love to go to a friend's farm. Just really anything outdoors. We're outside as much as we can, but you can see us riding the 4-wheeler there and having a ton of fun. My daughter Adeline's 4, my daughter Raylan is 7, and they mean the absolute world to us. We live with our family here in Columbia, Missouri, pretty much born and raised in the central Missouri area, both my wife and I, and we plan to stay here. So fitness has become a very important aspect of our life. My wife, Stephanie, is a professional hobbyist. I feel like she is very involved in yoga. She's level 2 yoga certified. She is part of a row fitness class, and she just does everything, seems like on a daily basis, ties to health and fitness and wellness to some degree. She also owns a small at-home activewear clothing company called Zeal, which is also tied right into that fitness world. Myself, I love fitness. I try to work out every single day. My goal this year is to work out 365 workouts this year, one every single day, and I'm pacing for that. So that's very important to us. It's just living an active and healthy, lifestyle. And then we get into the finance piece. So prior to this career, a little bit about my background. I'm a graduate, BA graduate from University of Missouri in Kansas City. Never knew what I wanted to do going into college and university. So I went to business school. Came out of business school. I did a summer internship over the course of several summers of business and entrepreneurial internship. Graduated and then went right into the corporate world. I had a good position with the company. Had a good salary, making about $50,000 a year with benefits. It was very traditional. Nothing too exciting, but it was paying the bills. Allowed us to afford, a wedding. Allowed us to afford, a decent home and things of that nature. So we were living, kind of the traditional post-college type of lifestyle. After 3 years, I just felt very stuck. I didn't have a lot of control or really any control over upward mobility of my position, my career, my growth, or my finances. And so my mind became very open that there's got to be something else that if I really apply myself, that I can get more out of a particular career, especially with a lot of time and energy invested into it. And I found Family Heritage, and that was a little over 10 years ago. So folks, the financial piece, especially in the beginning for me, was extremely important because I had to transition from a corporate position with a salary and traditional benefits into something that I had never been a part of, something that was to some degree unknown, and it was a little bit scary, to be honest. So But in my first year, my first rolling 12 months, the best month I had was over $12,000 of income. And I did not come from a background doing what our company does. So this is brand new to me. In the last 10 years, my best month of income has been over 68,000. So the only point of me telling you that is most likely a lot of you, as you're looking into our company and you're getting this information, you're probably in a similar, or a lot of you in the same boat that I was in, making a transition into something different, new, unique, etc. And that can be a little bit scary. But the point is, if I could do it, a lot of people could do it as well. So, but what led me to have early success and not have a hard transition, and I didn't have a hard transition at all. I had a great first month, made more income in my first month with this company than I had ever made in a month with my prior corporate experience. And I've far exceeded now in the last 10 years, my best month, I've made more in a month than I made in the entire year at my old company. But it's been due to hard work and focus and a positive attitude and really buying into the culture of the company and all the things that I'm going to share with you today. So again, a little bit about me and my family. Those are the 4 F's: faith, family, fitness, and finance. And these are really the guiding compass that we live our life by. Okay, so let me walk you through what an interview process looks like with our company. So number one, you've already been phone screened, so we call that a first interview. We've done a brief candidate assessment. Somebody from my office or one of our offices reviewed your resume, and there's something about your resume in that conversation that led us to connect with you and get you into this information meeting right now. So right now I'm going through a company overview. From the company overview, we're going to do an evaluation and a follow-up, and we'll give you a call back or shoot you an email, and that's where we'll schedule a one-on-one, face-to-face final interview with myself or one of our leadership team, where we go through thoroughly and really make sure, is there a good fit here? Should we move forward? At that point, we'll answer a lot of the questions you have. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of questions for you on our end as well to see if there's a good fit. If there's not a good fit, no big deal. We went through a process. We got information about one another. We can still part as friends, and that's just part of the process. So what I'm going to cover today, number one, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Zeal agencies, which I founded about 10 years ago. I'm going to tell you about our parent company, Globe Life, and the Family Heritage Division. The Family Heritage Division is what brings forth all the products and the marketing and things of that nature. So I'll tell you about 3 companies today. Number 2, I'm going to tell you what we're looking for, the positions we're looking to fill, the characteristics that it takes to succeed, and really what we're looking for in a candidate. We're going to talk about products because products are extremely important. What we do is very, very unique and different from what most of you have ever seen, especially even in our industry. I'm going to talk about compensation and incentives, one of the most exciting things that I'm going to be bringing to you today from my standpoint. We'll talk about the career track, which is the opportunity to move upward and grow in your career. We'll talk about marketing. I'm going to talk to you about training and development. That's a very critical factor of this whole piece of the puzzle, and the requirements and expectations. So we've only got a few minutes to get through all this, so I'm going to get right into it. So first off, the Zeal agencies. And by the way, you'll have the opportunity to go to websites and do a lot of homework and go to Glassdoor and do all the research that you want to do on all of these companies. But just a quick snapshot. Zeal agencies I founded in 2009. The really neat thing about our company is everybody from the ground floor up has the opportunity to own their own business here, just like I did. It took me about 2 years of selling, building teams, doing what we do with Family Heritage to move up the career track to a point where I was able to branch off and own my own essentially independent franchise within Family Heritage. So there are 30 plus, I think we're right at about 35 independently owned agencies under the Family Heritage division that make up Family Heritage. Similar to, there's 32 or so NFL football teams. Each team does the same thing, but each team has the autonomy and the freedom to brand themselves differently and uniquely from the other teams. Like the Chiefs are different from the Patriots, etc. Each team has the opportunity to have their own systems of training and develop their own culture and their own success and their own reward system. So we're no different than that. Everybody has the same opportunity to own their own company here if that's something that you desire to do. If you're an entrepreneur and you want to own something of your own, you can do that without having to bring all the capital investment to start it. You get to make money as you're building up to that point and do it at a pace in a way that you're in control of. So the Zeal agencies, again, just one out of 30 plus independently owned agencies. We've been a top 10 sales agency the last 5 years consecutive. And 3 out of those 5 years, we've been in the top 3 to 5. And so obviously what we're doing is working, and we've grown rapidly. So let me talk to you a little bit about growth. In 2009, we were 1 rep strong. That was me in Central Missouri. Now we have multiple offices across multiple states, literally serving tens of thousands of clients. And we have a future revenue runoff projected at over $100 million. And so, folks, we have over 60 representatives. We have a strong back-end support staff at the centralized office here in Columbia, Missouri. We are open because we're not restricted by geography and territory. We're open to building with and around the right people anywhere in the U.S. And in 49 states. The only state that we're not working in and operating in is the state of New York. So, and then our website, feel free to browse through. There's a ton of information. There's bios of some of the top representatives that I work with, and some information you definitely want to capture. Go to thezealagencies.com. So Family Heritage, this is the company that provides the product and the support and really the opportunity that I was 100% sold on 10 years ago. And they're a phenomenal entity. So established in 1989, 93 offices in 49 states, a subsidiary of Globe Life Inc., one of the strongest stocks in the public market. The New York Stock Exchange ticker symbol is GL. Please do research on Globe Life, and they have $1.3 billion in assets, and that's Family Heritage. So what we do, before I get into Globe Life, what we do is very unique. We simply offer supplemental benefits to business owners, employees, and families. So essentially what we offer is products designed to help combat the rising out-of-pocket health-related costs facing most American families today. We're going to get into our products here in a second, but I want to mention that they are very unique. We are not health insurance. We are not traditional life insurance products. We do have a life product, but that's not our core. What we do is when American families battle cancer and heart disease and accidents, we don't pay the hospitals. We actually pay money to the family. And we have a unique built-in benefit that we've always had called return of premium that I'm going to get into here in a few minutes. And you'll see how unique it is and why it makes us different and unique from all the other competitors in the industry. So a little bit more about the Family Heritage Division, some of the credentials that really make us stand out. We love our customer service. That's one of the staples of our business. In 2019, we were an award winner for best customer service nationwide. We get an A+ and accredited with the Better Business Bureau. Again, that's another essentially a customer service review of a business, and we treat our customers very, very well. And then from a financial standpoint, we get an A+ superior rating as of 7/2019 with the AM Best Company, and they just simply look at the financial strength of companies and we're as high as it gets. So our track record of growth with the Family Heritage Division, 1989, you can see new sales, we did 34,000. In 2018, we did 61.1 million. And you can see every few years the quantum leaps that we're making in new sales. And the way that we do that is not a fancy system. It's working with hardworking, great people that are passionate to help others and developing leaders one at a time, helping people be successful one at a time. And that in turn leads to one client at a time. We retain our clients and we continue to build and grow and develop clients and leaders. Earned premium revenues, 1993 from 7.2 million, 2018 over 276 million. So now let me transition a little bit and tell you about Globe Life, our parent company. And so with roots beginning in 1900, Globe Life has grown in financial strength and reputation. So here's some of the credentials: 3.6 billion in life and health premium in force, 192 billion of life insurance coverage in force. The Globe Life companies have more policyholders than any other life insurance company in the country. The Globe Life companies issue more ordinary life insurance policies every year than any other company in the US, and they're a member of the S&P 500 index. So that tells you a lot about the size and the success of our parent company and the direction that we're headed. You know, the one thing I looked at whenever I was looking at this company was, do I want to be a part of something that is just getting by? Or do I want to be a part of something that has a clear vision of where it's going, developing leaders along the way, pouring resources into the development of those leaders and the success of the people that they work with, that continues to grow and scale in quantum leaps? And that's exactly what we're a part of. So national exposure, Globe invests a lot of money and a lot of energy into providing a credible brand for us as we're acquiring and building our customer base, but as we're also acquiring and building the partnerships with people like you and I to build the teams in the markets and start to penetrate in those markets. So check this out. Globe Life Field is currently being built, or as you're watching this, has been built. So we are the official life insurance of the Texas Rangers. As of recently, we became the official life insurance company of the Dallas Cowboys, and we are also the official life insurance of the FC Dallas soccer team. So some of the biggest sports brands in the world are tied to Globe Life, and that helps us so tremendously in all the facets of the way that we do business. So our mission, very, very simple and direct. We help families make tomorrow better by working to protect their financial future. Folks, changing gears for a second, our ideal candidate, this is what I'm looking for and the characteristics that I'm looking for, my company's looking for, and also what it takes to be successful. Number one, I'm looking for somebody that wants to make a positive impact in our clients, our community, and with our company. Number two, I'm looking for somebody who wants rapid advancement and leadership opportunities. I am not looking for somebody that just wants to clock in, clock out, and get by, right? This would not be a fit for that individual. Number three, somebody who wants to earn what they're worth. You know, I explained my story of one of the reasons why I came here was I was just kind of stuck and I didn't feel that I was earning what my value was. And I didn't have control over my financial future and my progression within my past company. And I'm very appreciative and felt very blessed for my past company, but it just wasn't structured that I had any control over where my family's future and my career future was going. I was kind of at the mercy of the system, right? So I'm looking for someone that's got that fire in their gut. Man, I am worth more. I could do more. I could become more. And I desire those things. I'm willing to look at something and do something a little different than what I've done in the past to get a better result that I have more control over. That's the type of mindset that really, really thrives here. Somebody who has, appreciation or wants appreciation and recognition for their performance. When you do something great, it's recognized. That's a huge part of our culture here. And then very important, one of the final characteristics is someone who's looking to really have control and flexibility of their time and where things are going. So where you get to actually determine your success and your use of time. And that's one thing that is, as you know, because of my commitment to my church and the time that I spend every week and every month with my church family, with my personal family on the side of fitness, the Spartan races, the marathons, all the things that my wife and I do together, and then our financial. Like, we don't want to make a bunch of money to just sit on it. We travel and we go to places around the world and we create experiences with our family and our friends and my coworkers. In order to do those things, you have to have control of your schedule, where you're spending your time, how you're spending your time. So that is those are some of the most important characteristics that we're looking for with our ideal candidate. Obviously, having a positive attitude, working hard, being open-minded to tie into a new culture, things like that, being coachable, things like that are obviously very important as well. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we do and what our products are, because it's the thing that first and foremost attracted me the most. And you may like the career path here and all the things that we offer, but if you love the products, then you'll have a sustainable career or a better chance to have something that's really special here. So really buying into and understanding and being excited about how we're serving families in the communities we work in is extremely important. So this is what we sell to businesses, their employees, sole proprietors, in the school systems, even individuals and families. And so it's a full line of supplemental. We specialize in our cancer product, where 3 out of 4 families in the U.S. at some point will go through cancer. Obviously, it's an epidemic in the U.S. now. And on the financial side, cancer is the most expensive illness that people go through. It's the #1 cause of bankruptcy in the U.S. as far as illness goes. The second product that we offer is a heart and stroke plan. 1 out of 3 deaths in the U.S. Is from a cardiovascular illness. And it is a very, very common illness that most of us at some point, unfortunately, are going through. We know somebody close to us that has been through it. We have a phenomenal accident plan. And this is something that broken bones and car wrecks and all these things that are totally unpredictable, we pay money to our clients as they go through those things. And then we have an intensive care plan, an adult life plan, and a child whole life plan. And I'll get into how our products work here in a second. So the feature that is very unique and different, that makes us different from everybody else in our industry, is called return of premium. And what this means is if the client does not use their policy, they paid in all these premiums for all these years. If they stick with it for a set period of time, we actually give them their premium back as an incentive for sticking with it. Our company was able to invest those premiums and did very well financially off of that. And so as an incentive for the client to keep it for a much longer period of time, we give them their premiums back if they simply stick with it. If they were to pass away, in most states, we give them their premiums to their beneficiary at that point of death. Or if they had to use the product and they filed claims, we'll give them what they paid in minus the claims that we paid them. So let me take one step back. What we do is very simple. To reiterate, when a client goes through one of these things that you see on the screen and they have a policy in force, we pay money, cash, as a direct deposit to their checking account so they can pay their bills and their living expenses and some unpaid hospital bills and the change of lifestyle because of that illness or whatever they're going through, the things like deductibles and copays. We just pay the client cash so they can pay for life. So they have one less thing to worry about as they're going through that unexpected illness. So our presentation, our policies, everything we do is extremely simple. It's easy to use. The presentation is easy to duplicate. You see on the screen, everything we do is mobile now. It's on an iPad or a device, and they're very client-friendly products. All the underwriting is in that meeting with that client, that employee or that individual or that family member. And so we go through the options. They pick what they like. They choose the financial option that serves their needs. We go through a needs analysis. Once they've chosen what they want, we go through a simple mobile application. They put in their basic info, whatever checking or savings account they want it to come out of. We click submit. They're protected the next day, and the representative is paid a few business days later. So it's a very, very simple process that we train to and that we offer for our clients. So 3 simple questions. As I go, I'm going to go through a kind of a brief product presentation and show you some of the highlights of some of the benefits and how it works. First question I want you to think in the back of your mind, do you believe in our product? Right? Super important. Number 2, does it seem easy enough to present? And we would give you thorough training. This is a big piece of our culture is training and developing our representatives. But does it seem easy enough to present, at least on the surface? And then how many out of 25 presentations do you think would say, wow, that makes sense. I need that. Let's get it. So be thinking, keep those 3 questions in the back of your mind. So I'm going to play this short video for you, and then we'll get right into some of the details of the product.
When cancer strikes, it shows no favoritism. Everyone is at risk, infants or adults, single or married, young or old. Who doesn't have or know of family members and friends who've been diagnosed recently? Medical advances have increased chances of survival, but surviving a cancer diagnosis often causes financial hardship for families, whether the patient is the primary wage earner or another member of the family. Medical expenses are a leading cause of bankruptcies. The majority of working men and women don't have the financial resources to survive while they are unable to work. If you are diagnosed with cancer and are unable to work, how difficult will it be for your family to pay the bills without your income? 1 in 5 people with health insurance who are diagnosed with cancer use all or most of their savings because of the financial cost of dealing with cancer. It's a frightening reality for many. Fortunately, our supplemental cancer plans may help offset the financial burden. The real benefit is that you are able to focus on recovery while relieving your family of the financial stress that cancer can cause.
Okay, so this is going to be a snapshot of our product presentation. Again, all this is done on a mobile device, on an iPad or device. So first off, we go through a needs analysis. We talk about the risk of cancer, what's actually happening in the U.S. One of the crazy stats is 3 out of 4 cancer cases come from the environment, is what science is showing and medical research is showing, which means only 1 out of 4 comes from the hereditary side of it. So the good news is most people survive cancer now. The bad news is it's extremely expensive to battle. So the direct cost of battling cancer is hospital and doctor bills. And I know I'm talking fast, but follow along with me if you can to the best of your ability. Hospital and doctor bills are that top piece of that iceberg. It's $103 billion a year spent in the U.S. is paying the hospitals and doctors for going through cancer. What we deal with is the bigger piece of it, the piece that's under the surface that people don't really prepare for and think about, right? And that's called the indirect costs. Indirect costs include a lot of things, and it's different with every situation. It could be loss of income and savings because they're not working as much because they're going through treatments. Insurance limitations. There's almost always insurance limitations. Very few, if any, health insurances cover 100% of the medical cost of going through cancer ever. It's very rare when they do. Copays, deductibles, experimental treatments. And then one of the biggest ones you get into in the yellow there is out-of-pocket, travel, lodging. A lot of people have to travel for treatments, and it just keeps all the things keep piling up. So income typically goes down, expenses typically go up, and that happens overnight, and it creates a gap. And that gap is where people dip into savings and sell assets, things of that nature. So what we do is we offer a program that pays the client directly. So we pay you to keep the family in business, whereas health insurance, which we do not do, pays the doctors to keep them in business. And what we do pays in addition to any other insurance that the policyholder owns, provides coverage for the individual or the entire family. So a couple key highlights. This is the program. We offer 4 options. On these pages, it only shows 2 of the options. You see on the right-hand side, it says Elite 8. Here's an example. If a client's diagnosed with internal cancer, right off the bat, we pay them $6,000 cash. They do whatever they want with that money. And folks, I'm not going to go through every benefit. I'm just highlighting some of the really big ones. Every day they're in the hospital with no lifetime limits, we pay $800 per day. So if they're in the hospital for 10 days due to a surgery because of that battle with cancer, we're going to pay them another $8,000 of cash just to pay their bills and live their life, right, as they're going through that. And all these benefits are included, by the way. If they go through a surgery, we'll pay up to $24,000 per surgery. Every day of radiation or chemo, we'll pay $480 per day. Again, no lifetime limit. So if they had 100 rounds of radiation and chemo over the course of, let's say, 6 months of going through a major cancer, you would take 100 times 480. What is that? Is that 48,000 if my math is correct? If not, I promise I told you this isn't rehearsed. Patient transportation is one of my favorite benefits, and this is a fixed benefit if you get the highest plan or the lowest plan. We will literally reimburse up to $2,500 every round trip the client takes to get treatment anywhere in the U.S. They could fly to L.A. every week, and we're going to reimburse them for those flights. 60 cents per mile for driving, and $200 a night for a place to stay. They can take a family member with them, and we'll reimburse that family member. If it's a kid, we'll pay both parents and the kid these amounts to go get the best treatment. And then return of premium is amazing. One of 3 things happens. If the client owns the policy for 25 years, that's their choice. If it's an employee, the policy is transferable. So they could work at 10 different businesses or for 10 different companies over the course of 25 years. Policy is going to keep going with them if they want it to, right? And so that means that return of premium keeps going with them. So as an example, if a client paid in just in their month-to-month premiums over 25 years, if they paid in $20,000, never filed a claim, never used the thing, we're going to give them a check back for $20,000. If they filed a small claim, we'll give them the difference back. If they file a large claim, go through a major battle with cancer or have an accident plan and have a major incident, if we pay the client more over those 25 years, we're not going to give them extra money back if we paid them more than what they paid in. If the client passes away before 25 years, we're going to reimburse to their beneficiary everything they paid in up to that point. In our industry, folks, it's very rare, but we call this a win-win. The client wins, the company wins. If they go through an illness, they're happy they had it. If they don't go through an illness, they're happy they had it. If they stuck with it for that 25 years or death, because someone's going to get that money back. So a couple of cancer claim letters. This is a really valuable marketing tool that we use. These are clients, we get about 50 to 100 of these on a monthly basis. And these are clients that actually write in, I call them thank you letters. They write in and give us, it's called an IRA, Information Release Authorization. They give us the authority and the ability to read and share their letter with people that are interested in pursuing our coverage. So the one in the upper left-hand corner is Patricia in Kansas. She said, we had week-long trips to Kansas City for treatments. The policy helped us focus on our daughter getting better rather than worrying about how we were going to pay the bills. John in Missouri said, the one thing that sold us more than anything else was the fact that if we did not use the policy, we'd get all of our entire premium back. The company and their representative have bent over backwards to help us, going far and above our wildest dreams. And then Robert in Texas said, my son Joey was diagnosed with cancer at the young age of 15. I personally can't even imagine with my two girls. We traveled to Houston numerous times and even lived there for weeks while Joey was being treated. All transportation and hotel expenses were reimbursed to us. We received over $70,000, and we thank God we have family heritage. I mean, how cool is that? So the impact we're making on families, let me show you this. In 1990, we paid families, American families, $42,000 in claims. Folks, look at that trend. In 2018, we paid for people going through cancer and heart disease and accidents and ICU and life claims. We paid over $36 million in direct deposits and checks of money to families that got to use that money just to take care of life as they went through that incident. Return of premium benefit. Check this out. People always, the most common thing is, oh, that's just too good to be true. It's like, well, no, it's not at all. We're doing very well. We're very profitable, but we're doing it because we're treating people well with a product that is valuable, of high value to the person. In 2000, we returned of premium $221,000. Pretty cool. It's a lot of money. In 2018, we returned $44 million in return of premium to clients that stuck with it or hit death for that period of time. So let me give you an example week. Remember those 3 questions before I went into the products. The third one was out of 25 presentations, and oftentimes 25 presentations comes in a business. We work with a lot of schools and nursing homes and small business owners and large corporations. And if you had a company that you're working with of 40 employees and you present to 25 of them, how many are going to say, yes, that makes sense and sign up, right? Because it's a very simple sign-up process. So if 20% of those 25 sign up, that's 5 applications. And a lot of our clients buy a cancer and an accident or multiple applications. But for math's sake, NAP is the annual premium that one client will pay. So the average NAP per client is a little over $1,000 a year that client will pay. If you divide that by 12, that tells you what the average monthly is. Between $60 and $90 a month is the average policy premium. So they're very reasonable. So the total NAP for that, let's say that was a week, is $5,040. So I'm going to go through this quickly, but if we get into an interview, we'll slow down and really answer your questions on this. But just for time's sake, I'll go through this quickly. Feel free to take a snapshot or a screenshot of this if you have the ability, and you can review this a little bit more after this we go through this. Also, we'll be sending a playback of this webinar as well, so you can watch it and slow it down, etc. So, for example, and there's no caps, there's no ceiling whatsoever here, but these are just 3 examples. Our top representatives make about $160,000 to $180,000 in their first year. And our top representatives beyond their first year are making between $400,000 and $600,000 a year. But these are just examples. So if you go to weekly sales on the left of 5, so 5 applications sold per week is really not a lot. Pretty much it's kind of a baseline average. The weekly advance, we have an advance pay system, which puts a lot more cash in the representative's pocket in the week of the sales than they've actually earned. So it's a nice transitional tool for somebody that had a great corporate salary to be able to make a very clean transition into this new career path without having to do really, really well right out of the gates. So, and we'll get into more of that later. So 5 sales, cash flow that week is 907 plus a $500 monthly bonus. Monthly cash flow off of 5 applications sold per week would be $42.79. First year cash flow would be $58,000. If you sell 8 applications per week, fast forward to this, you're just under 6 figures, and it's not hard to get that tipping point to get into a 6-figure income in your first year with an average of 8 to 10 applications sold per week. And that's not out of the realm of possibility either. We have lots of examples of representatives nationwide that are writing between 12 and 15 and 20 applications per week and seeing a very nice compound and sustainability effect from that. So here's a guy that a lot of you recognize, Mr. Warren Buffett, and he said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Warren Buffett also is one of the owners of Berkshire Hathaway. It's pretty much his company. And he owns nearly 6% of our parent company, Globe Life Inc., in the outstanding shares, the public shares of Globe Life. Pretty cool stat. So one of the top reasons why people choose a career in the insurance industry is residual income. And what that means is, like he was saying, you're making money while you sleep. And what a great concept, a great philosophy. And insurance is, think about it. It takes 20 to 30 minutes to acquire and build a relationship with a client and acquire a client to essentially buy our product. And that client, independent of you, will continue to pay their premium, pay the company for years and years and years down the road without you having to trade your time and energy to keep that client. It takes very minimal time and energy to retain a client because our products and the return of premium and just the way they're structured. So I just want to introduce you to this concept. It's one of the most exciting things financially about this company. And this maps out a residual income example. So residual income is income earned each month from families protected in the past. Vesting with our company starts at 2 years, and you're 100% vested, fully vested after 5 years. What that means is if you work here for 5 years or more, and then you quit or retire or go work for another company, it could even be a competitor. It doesn't matter to us. When you leave, we will keep paying you every month of every year from the clients that you sold in the past that continue to pay the company. We even keep paying you renewal overrides if you are in a leadership position leading a team and the volume of sales from the past from that team. Pretty cool. So in year 1, you have new sales commissions as an example. Year 2, you have new sales commissions and bonuses and advances and all these other things, plus renewals from the prior year, and you see how it compounds and it starts to snowball. So here's a residual income example, and these are real examples. We just can't put names to this for privacy's sake. But this representative completed or has worked with the company for 7 years. Annual renewals is $28,000. Those will probably run off over the next 20 years of that individual's life. So take 20 years times $28,000 a year. This individual could walk away tomorrow and keep getting paid an average of $28,825 a year for the next 15 to 20 years of their life. They could just quit tomorrow. And you can see as the more years you're with the company, and the more you do, the bigger that compounds. So another perk of this position, we take amazing incentive trips. We offer at minimum 2 company-sponsored trips each year. Past trips, Italy, Portugal, Jamaica, Bahamas, Panama, Costa Rica. We travel the world, literally, and some amazing cities, destination cities in the U.S. This picture right here is a private house that I rented for my organization. We had multiple trip winners, and this is a few of us hanging out in the infinity pool overlooking the Pacific Northwest coast. Up here in the upper right is the second tour of Italy that we took just a few years ago, and just some of us hanging out there. And then the bottom right is the first trip that we've taken to Panama, and we actually had a fishing expedition and caught about 100 of these beautiful bass amongst, I think there were 20 or so of us that went on that fishing expedition in the Panama Canal. And that was one of our incentive trips that I sponsored. So compensation is offered in a lot of different ways. We have weekly advance pay, which is the upfront cash flow. It doesn't take a lot of sales and a whole lot of effort to do really, really well here and make that transition from a traditional salary corporation type position to this. I'd say probably 95% of the 60 or so people that I work with had to make that transition. So that's why we offer the advance pay. We have incredible override opportunities that can start on day one, where you have the opportunity to reap the benefit financially of growing an organization and adding greater value than just you. Weekly and monthly bonuses that can really stack up. You can earn up to $5,000 a month in bonus, and that's cash. Lifetime renewals, where money keeps paying you. Stock in our parent company and Globe Life. Go to check out the stock symbol GL. And just look at the growth over the last decade that the GL stock has had. And then we take incredible trips. We work really hard. We definitely play really hard. And a lot of those trips are family trips with kids included. The career track. Let me walk you through this. This is the progression of climbing that corporate ladder. But the cool thing that I want to point out with the career track, you do it at your pace. So at the field director level, these are quarterly promotions. I've had people in their first quarter promote all the way up to regional director in their first quarter. But at a field director, the potential first year compensation for field director, this is what our field directors are earning on average, between $71,000 and $103,000 a year. Future compensation means the renewal side of it. That's going to pay out another $29,000 to $54,000 on top of that first year, but as time goes on. As a market director, our market director average income range between $85,000 and $119,000, stacking on another $75,000 to $117,000 compounded every year in renewals. Regional directors are making over $169,000 on average. There's regional directors in the company making upwards of $400,000 a year. And like I said earlier, I've had regional directors promote literally in their first full fiscal quarter. It is possible. So again, these are quarterly promotions based on your performance and your growth. And when we get into an actual career, if we offer you a position and you accept, we'll go through specifically what it takes to promote, because it's my objective to help people promote and get the things that are important to them. I mean, that's my personal business mission. And then agency owner, like I mentioned earlier, everybody has the opportunity to acquire, take over, and run their own agency. And at that point, you would branch off of the Zeal agencies, and you would be your own entity, an independent franchise between you and the Family Heritage Division. And our agency owners are making between $249,000 a year, really at the low end, and millions a year at the high end. The majority of our agency owners did not come from the industry. They were like me, they were probably like you, and they started from the ground up here, but they did it very quickly and they did it in a healthy fashion. So folks, we have a proven marketing system. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the how-to. That's one of the key topics if we get into an interview. But we essentially work with this is not a traveling thing. We work with local business owners, their employees, families, farmers, municipalities, and school systems. We also offer this on an individual basis. And it's an activity-driven model, right? An activity-driven model. And our representatives do not have to travel. We network and build as the professional in the local communities around where we live. Our presentation is needs-based. We meet with clients by appointment. We consult the clients on benefits and coverage options. We qualify them first. We enroll the applicant. That's all done typically in that first meeting. And then from there, we work off referrals. So we are a referral-driven business. We have referral-friendly products, and it's only offered through in-person appointments and meetings. So we are not sitting in a cubicle making phone calls. We are shaking hands with human beings and actually building relationships in the communities. And then the best part that I didn't start with 10 years ago, it was a physical handwritten check. It was a paper application. We didn't have any of the selling software and all the great things we have now. But we are up to speed, up to date, and actually, from my experience, ahead of the curve on technology by utilizing a state-of-the-art mobile presentation to mobile application process. And it keeps getting better. Folks, we assume if we were to partner with you and you accepted and came on board with us that you've never been trained by our company, that you don't know anything, and our training starts there. So we offer fundamental business and sales skills training, how to do an effective product presentation, again, from the ground up, how to develop leads and referral marketing, and then hands-on role playing. And so classroom training is 4 days. It kicks off and is a spark to one's career. It's kind of like the boot camp for a brand new representative, just to learn in 4 days what to do, how to do it, how to be effective, and then you're ready for actual field training. Field training is monkey see, monkey do. It's hands-on. It's with a trainer. It's in the market. It's shaking hands. It's watching them. It's taking notes. And it goes on for several days to several weeks. But the really cool thing about working with our trainers is our trainers really put a lot into the people that they're training and working with to ensure that the trainer's doing everything they can to help you get to the income level literally within your first week to your second week that you needed to replace from your old position. And then they look at how to help you grow that. So the mentorship program is absolutely phenomenal here. Continued education, the learning process never stops. From Family Heritage to Globe to my agencies, we invest a tremendous amount of time, energy, and effort on a daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly basis through leadership academies, ongoing development. We have online fit training where you get to continue to sharpen your skills at your pace. We have weekly team meetings, weekly coaching calls, national webinars, national meetings. Iron sharpens iron. I've been doing this over 10 years. There's something I learned from the new representatives every day. And that's just the spirit of our culture. It's a culture of growth and continually learning. We give a ton back. You can research all these charities. Hope Kids, Harvest for Hunger, St. Jude is a huge one. My wife and I also personally give back to St. Jude, Young Life, Heart for Kids, National Fallen Firefighters is a big one that's become very, very important and meaningful to us. This is just a snapshot of some of the organizations and charities that we're giving back our time and our money to help further make an impact. Okay, so we're wrapping up here. Requirements for success. I'm not going to go into great detail on these. I just want to put these out there because this will breed some questions if we get to an interview. Professional certification. You have to have a state insurance license. It's a health and life license. It only takes a few days to get. It's not expensive at all. It's the least expensive of all the professional licenses. You have to take a simple test, and that's something that we hold your hand through if we were to move forward. Access to a mobile device. They have used devices. Almost any device works. Again, my onboarding team helps you with that and supports you in selecting the right device that works for you. Most people have one already, but just full disclosure, that's the only thing that you really have to have is a professional license and access to a mobile device. You do not have to have those things to interview with my company. I repeat, you do not have to have those things to interview with my company. It's just in the event that we did move forward, that's one of a couple of the things, the requirements that we're going to talk about to get you set up, okay? You have to be willing to work hard. This is not part-time. This is a full-time career path. The more you're going to put into it is the more that you're going to get out of it. But at the same time, we are selective with who we work with because we're not going to invest 100% of us into somebody that's going to try this out or dabble into this. Because we need to reserve that energy and that money and those resources for those that are really going to drive the needle forward of our business and really put their full selves into it. And hopefully you can respect that. Somebody who's going to study hard. Again, we assume that you've never done what we do the way we do it. So we're going to train you, but we need you on your end to follow through and have the energy and the mental clarity to really study hard and follow our processes. They're proven, they're time tested, they work. We just need you to follow them. Somebody with an ownership mindset and discipline. Folks, here's what I tell people. Number one, I can't read your mind. I don't have a crystal ball, right? I won't do anything for you, but I will do everything with you. My resources and support are unlimited if you do your part, right? And that's a partnership, but it starts with an ownership mindset. We own our success, but we also own our failure here. No one takes credit for my success but me. But also I don't push off my challenges and my failure on anybody else as well. And that is a true ownership mindset. It's one of our core values that we live and breathe by. It's extremely important. And last but definitely not least, we do everything with integrity. Everything with integrity. So what's next? It's the last slide for today. We did it. Good job. So what's next? An evaluation and follow-up. So my leadership team, including myself, will evaluate each and every candidate that we're looking at across the U.S. and discuss each of you. And then the follow-up process is going to be in a phone call or an email in the next 24 to 48 hours. So we'll notify you if we're interested in speaking further. For most of you, we are going to be interested in at least following up just to see if there is going to be a next step for an interview. And then point number 3 there is the final interview and offer. So final interview, if you're in a remote location, not near one of my offices, will be a virtual interview. So we'll still be able to see face-to-face, have a good, thorough conversation, go through a good, thorough interview, or with somebody in my leadership, and figure out if there's a next step or not. And we'll make an offer and go through the financials and everything from there. If you're within a couple hours of an office, then we're going to schedule a time to bring you into the office and really sit down and really go through everything and make sure we've given both parties an opportunity to come to a good conclusion. And then the fourth point there is to make a great impression. If you want to really stand out to me and give you more information about you that maybe isn't described on your resume, I would highly encourage you to email me. My email address is gzimney, Z as in zebra, I, M as in Mary, N as in Nancy, Y. A lot of people put 2 M's, so make sure you're getting that down. gzimney at zealfinance.com. You see it on the bottom of your screen there. Folks, that's all I have for you for today. I really appreciate and value your time. I look forward to speaking and hopefully meeting a lot of you very, very soon. God bless. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.